Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Luxury. I'm your host, Alex Brandau, a Nashville, Tennessee-based global luxury real estate specialist and someone who is endlessly curious about the people and stories behind refined experiences. On this show, we go beyond the surface, diving deep into the craft, culture, and character behind what luxury really means today. Welcome back to Let's Talk Luxury. And today, y'all, we have a very exciting guest from Austin, Texas, Kate Ginsberg. Kate, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We're thrilled that you're here. You've been one of our most sought after guests, especially with a sister city, Austin and Nashville. I mean, I hope you feel that way. We feel that way in Nashville.
Yeah.
And we have a
little competitive sibling rivalry with the music and the barbecue.
There's no question. Well, first of all, let me just yield on behalf of all of Nashville. You win in barbecue for sure. Done. We're out. Like, don't even try. We might compete in pork, but not in beef. Like,
no, you can't beat the brisket here.
We're out. What's your favorite? Since we're there, what's your favorite?
Oh, I really love a Franklin's barbecue burnt end sandwich. Like, so good.
Yes. It's the best, and it's worth waiting in line for.
It is, especially when you're getting paid to be there.
Yes, even better. That sounds like a story that we need to unpack here shortly. Well, listen, I'm a huge, every time I'm in Austin, I bring back, my favorite now is that Salt Lick is selling frozen, briskets that you can actually put in the freezer bag and bring home with you. I actually carry that freezer bag with me when I travel to this day, but
hysterical.
Yes, truly. We're gonna upcycle.
It's a whole thing. Absolutely.
It is. Well, tell us, Kate, you're here with us on Let's Talk Luxury. Tell us a quick, bio of you and, why we're having you here on Let's Talk Luxury today.
In a nutshell, I'm the founder and CEO of Queen of To-Do. We're a luxury in-home personal assistant home management service. We've been in business almost 15 years now. I literally started the company with my first son in a baby carrier on my back when he was 8 weeks old. So it was a whole family affair. And now we've got a team of 16 here in Austin, one in Oklahoma and one in Pennsylvania.
Wow. Now does all of that happen in each of those cities? Each one of your... Yeah.
Both of our out-of-state folks are virtual support at this point. So they were PAs with us here in Austin, helped us out here, learned the ropes, and then both for different reasons ended up moving out of state, but didn't want to give up the gig.
Love.
So we found a way to make it work for all of us, and we're so thrilled to have them still.
Listen, that sounds like the job market in 2025 to me. Like if you've got good people, you find a way.
You don't want to lose them.
That's right. That's right. Well, tell us what's your original vision? Like what was your catalyst? Was there a moment as to why or how this came to be?
I actually found out I was being transferred with my then husband when I was 7.5 months pregnant. Couldn't fly. This was pre-Zoom. Like this was 2010.
Yeah.
So Zoom interviews were obviously not a thing. Started looking at the cost of daycare for this tiny baby that we were expecting and was running some quick math. My degree is in psychology. I had 5 years of teaching experience at a university, psychology and statistics, and looked at what I could potentially do for work down here, what it paid compared to daycare costs, and like the math just didn't math. I did some quick girl math and I was like, I am not working 40 hours a week, putting my kid in daycare 50 a week for commute time and coming out $200 to $300 a head. Like that is insane to me. So at that point, I started thinking about what are things that I could do with the baby along with me. And so landed on an errand service. I sent out a Facebook, like, pick your favorite name. And this was, again, before polls and all of that we have now. Queen of To-Do is what won. And I moved down here with my now ex-husband and our baby when he was 3 weeks old, opened the business 5 weeks later and just, it took some time to kind of get some traction. Eventually, I started looking for people who were looking for help. And if their job description was, it sounds so questionable now through the lens of 2025,
right?
But Craigslist was where I found my first few clients. And if they were asking for anything that I was capable of doing, I applied. And then after a successful interview, popped up with also my baby comes with me.
Yeah.
And to have the audacity of a 26-year-old again.
Yeah.
So, just made it work and learned how to baby wear and carriers and slings and wraps. And we went from there. So
Wow.
10 years on my own. Errands are a very small portion of what we do now. Most of it is the in-home, day-to-day stuff that eats up your evenings and your weekends.
Just like general household activities, like
Our
yeah.
kind of bread and butter is laundry, dishes, Amazon returns. Like,
Wow.
you have the heap of
Truly.
returns.
Who
We
doesn't?
do a lot of organizing, a little bit of meal prep here and there, some party planning, whatever people need to kind of keep the wheels on and
Wow.
keep their household running smooth. That's where we take on.
People need that expertise, and we're in an era of, reviews and expertise. So amazing.
Yep.
And it kind of got, like you say, it kind of caught fire, right? You thought it was going one way, but then it kind of pulled you across
You
the
learn
aisle.
to pivot in
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yes. And I found that while I hate keeping my own home, like doing it for somebody else and seeing the relief that people get when they have
Mm.
somebody that they can just call and say, oh my God, I forgot the dog has a vet appointment today and the HVAC's on the fritz and, it's 100 degrees outside because Texas. And they can just shoot over a text and be like, help. And they come home at the end of the day and it's all just dealt with. Like, that's a little bit of magic in people's day-to-day lives. And it's pretty incredible to get to be the person that does that for them.
Yes, that's that. I carry that service side, that wow side, like, follow through, and in those moments, I resonate with that. So good. What's tell us something that is a misconception that people have about your industry and the in-home and queen of to-do world.
Yes, that having help in the home is only for the ultra wealthy.
Mm.
A lot of people look at we're a luxury level provider, so our pricing is high, worth every penny, but it's out of reach for a lot of folks. We acknowledge that. That being said, even if you can outsource a small bit of your stress through prepared meals, through laundry service that's pick up, drop off, through swapping services like this with friends. Maybe you really don't mind doing the laundry and your friend doesn't mind doing the meal prep and the dishes. Trade services. There's ways to do that within your community without having it be a big outflow of cash. And the sanity that you can get from outsourcing just a little piece of your stress is huge.
Tell us maybe one of your case studies, like one of your ideals where you did just that.
Sure. Actually, and this is one of the more wild stories.
Love it.
It actually was 9 years ago. It just came up on my Facebook memories. I had a client who was here in Austin. She had moved away, and I really love the people that I work with. So
Sure.
I had reached out just out of the blue. She was living in North Carolina. And I reached out, hey, how are things going? She's like, I'm trapped in Denver. I'm supposed to be getting married this weekend. And this hurricane, I believe it was Hurricane Matthew, is coming towards the coast. And I don't know what we're going to do. The date was really important to them. And so it was, I want to say like a Wednesday evening that I talked to her. And by Friday afternoon, we had completely replanned the wedding in South Carolina. Nope,
Wow.
switch those. They're living in South Carolina. We replanned it in North Carolina.
Wow.
In 3.5 days, cake, flowers, venue, the whole nine. And they were able to keep their original wedding date. The ceremony was beautiful. Even with pulling in people, friends of friends. I reached out on Facebook, posted a message saying, hey, here's the situation, who can help? And again, the community of people I don't even realize I'm connected to stepped in, and we had, orchestra professor reach out and say, hey, my students would love to help with music. And this venue was like, we don't have anything booked this weekend. And, lots of moving parts, but here's a picture of the original cake. And we found a baker that could get it done. And, just getting all of that pulled together so that they could have the ceremony they really were wanting was incredible.
That's amazing. And not in your market.
And not in my market, not in my market but it was a relationship, right?
Yeah,
It was it wasn't an out of the blue. I don't know this person. I knew her. I adore her. She's in the healthcare field. Amazing woman. And so to take her from, I don't even know how this is possible, to it's everything we wanted it to be. When, like going, what a stressful situation to be in. And I couldn't for the life of me tell you why I reached out that day. Beyond, I just haven't talked to her in a while. I should check in. So for that to play out like it did was just amazing.
Well, and that to me, we were talking in the pre-show. I think that speaks to your real heart and your real passion around this, is that you're talking about being the one that was there to help them get to what they wanted, not because, you build six figures on it, to pull
Right.
that rabbit out of the hat. Like it was all about that friend and listening to, whatever that
Right.
that moment and being present in that moment. So,
Well, and here's the thing, like, I didn't charge them extra
yeah.
for a rush fee. Like, I did it for a regular hourly rate, that's just part of what we do.
I think that's something that we don't talk about enough, that sometimes you gotta be quiet enough to hear those moments,
Right.
and you call it whatever you want, whether it's, intuition or the universe or a God wink or any number of other things like that. Like, I very much believe that those messages are there. We just gotta be quiet enough to hear them, and then we have to have the courage to act on them.
Right.
I love and am inspired by the Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? If you're familiar with that, she counts backwards and into launch, and that's in one of her books, and that you just count down to taking action. We have so many
Mhm.
thoughts per day, and you leaned in and took action, and we're like, "Oh, it's been a minute, I'm going to
Wait.
call her." And more times than not, and I've done it too with my clients and been like, "I can't believe you just called. I was just talking to my neighbor at the mailbox about you." And it might be a
Yep.
client that's lived there for 6 years, and yet if you're tuned in, more times than not, and I would go as far as to say, and even in 2025, like making an actual call makes a big
Right.
difference.
Yep.
That's a differentiator.
Absolutely.
It's borderline luxury,
It is.
because it's time, it's
It
time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Very good. Well, tell us how about an extraordinary piece of service that you've encountered, something that just really just,
Gosh, honestly, the one that always stands out for me is not a paid service that
mm,
I have used. It's my village. It's
mm,
my people here in Austin that show up for both me and my family in ways that I would never ask. And the one in particular that really stands out in my brain is back in 2017, my husband was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma
mm,
and had chemo and radiation. And we had a 9-month old when we found out that he had cancer. And in February of 2018, he had to have a stem cell transplant, which at the time required 3 weeks inpatient hospitalization.
mm,
And so I have a 13-month-old and a 7-year-old and a business that at that point I was the only one. So um, I ended up looking at things and going, I don't even know how I'm going to do all of this.
mhm,
And I, like pulled in so many different directions because I don't want to let my clients down. I don't want to not be there for my kids. I really don't want to not be there for my husband. Every time somebody would ask, what can we do to help? What can we do to help? I don't know. I'm fine. Like, how many times have we heard
yeah,
people say,
yeah,
I'm fine? And finally, a friend of mine, and this was probably one of the greatest acts of service that
mm,
I have ever received. She asked me, why don't you want us to show you how much we love you?
mm,
And I went, that's what help is.
mhm,
That's what saying yes to support is. And that night, I ordered a keypad for my door on Amazon and I set codes for people and installed the thing myself. And at that point, if somebody said, I can stop by for dinner or with dinner, great. Go on in, put it in the fridge. I'm not there. I have time while I'm in your neighborhood to throw in a load of laundry. Amazing. Thank you. And so that was a moment where I really gave up control because how many times do we say no to help because they're not going to do it the way I would? They're not going to do it right. I have to do it because I'll do it right. Who cares
yeah,
how your laundry is done in that moment? Who cares if the dishwasher is loaded wrong? If the dishes are clean and the laundry is done and the kids are fed. And I got to go visit Mike in the hospital for a couple of hours that evening because somebody was picking up my kids from from daycare and hanging out with them at my house. Like, we're golden.
mhm,
And so, not a paid service, but that attitude of let's take care of you
mhm. I love
was
that.
huge.
My favorite answer to that question of all time.
Nailed it. I'm
Yes.
fiercely competitive. And so, like, yes, I win.
I did that in my prep for this. I was like, "She's gonna be competitive." So you win
Oh, man.
already, already. It's interesting. We've added in our world. similar. And thank you for sharing that and, being vulnerable. And we're going to add that. Like, why won't you let us show us how much you love them and love you? We just have added, we're the age and, that now we have parents starting to age and pass. And I lived through that with my grandfather recently and my father. And I kept getting those calls. Hey, how can we help? Let us know if we can do anything. And I'm like, that's hollow and it's not really actionable. And I'm messed up. Like, I'm sad and grieving. Like, I don't know what I
You're
need.
I don't know what I need. And
Yeah.
that's the thing is like you're so out of bandwidth that
Mm.
like even if there's a million things on your to-do list, you're like, shit, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I need right now. I need to not make another decision.
Yeah.
I need to not think about like the number of times people were like, well, I can bring this and this and this for dinner. Is it something we usually eat? No. Will I gladly accept it and eat it and be so thankful that I did not have to decide what
Yeah.
was for dinner one more time? Yes,
Or make it.
absolutely.
All you
Or
have to
make
do is
it.
heat it up.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that or people would offer to send DoorDash. I had a friend that made a list of all of the foods we preferred at like a dozen different places. And it was just a Google Doc that I could send, hey, can I order you dinner? Yes, here's what we like. And it was great. It was amazing. It made things doable.
We selfishly but unselfishly realized what do you need around around a funeral, and you publish that in the whole world, and no one
Mhm.
realizes or thinks about, my gosh, I just told the whole world where we're going to be and when we're going to be there. And this is very old South of like, well, my wife's grandmother, her service for years, for 40 years, was when there were funerals happening at the church, she was the one that would stay at the house.
Yeah.
And so that was an old Southern thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to start doing that. I'm a house guy. I deal with houses. Like, for God's sakes, I
Right.
go into strangers' houses all the time.
All the time.
Why don't you let me? And they're like, yes, like, thank you
Well,
for being that one.
and take out the trash. Figure
Yeah.
out when their trash day is and take the bins down to the end of the street or at the end of the driveway. Game changer. You get home and like that stuff could almost make you cry because it's just, you see me and you
Yeah.
understand like that's going to be a stressor for me next week if I don't get it done.
No question. And it's just like, I'm going to fill this role. I'm this cog in your wheel this week,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. I love it.
What do we need? Let's just knock that out. What do you need? Got it. Like, but you don't know, and you don't, that's the mistake that we make is.
Well, and there's so many things on top of the normal responsibilities. And when you're trying to keep all of those balls in the air, having one person go, I got this one.
Mm. Right.
Like just a few people saying, I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one. And then your bandwidth back to a manageable level.
No, so good. We just helped the world right there, girl. Like the whole world, we just spidered out.
Doing it.
Somebody's gonna
Nailed
pick
it.
up. Or be like, look, I need home help and the queen of to do, and I am gonna start house sitting, in other
Yes.
moments. So
Yes.
so interesting how we're victims of our own experience, but hopefully we're listening, right? And we can go back and go, oh, like, I want to make this better. I wish this had happened, in
Right.
this moment. So amazing. Well, let's see. How about I've got on here that since you've been in business for quite a while, how has and both in the company and your perspective of luxury changed in the past 10 years? Because it's changed.
It really has. So full disclosure, we really didn't rebrand as a luxury company until 2023, which
Got it.
was long overdue. I had been providing a luxury level of service at a non-luxury price point.
Mm, mm,
Mostly because like historically we devalue the work of home. It's a stay-at-home parent. It's not a parent who is raising children and the chauffeur and the chef and. It's she just stays at home. No,
mm, mm,
there is so much energy,
mm,
both physical energy and emotional energy that goes into being the person running the home.
mhm.
And where most households have two working parents now or two working adults, it falls by the wayside. So time is a real luxury and you can't buy yourself more
No.
unless you delegate and outsource. Delegation and outsourcing is going to get you that extra time back in your day.
So good. It's one of our true commodities, right? No one
Yep.
can buy any more of it. That's truly
Nope.
luxury, the time. The time.
Nope. And once it's gone, it's gone. You can't beg, borrow, or steal to get more.
That's right. At any level, right? For goodness
No,
sakes, you see
it's really the great equalizer.
it is. It truly is. Like, are you choosing, and you see people that could not, with all the wealth in the world and all that and all the medical services and all this, like we are going to die.
Yeah, one way
It's
or
going
another.
to happen. So we run out eventually. The clock is ticking. So I love that. That's language we use all the time. This time is
Yeah.
is also luxury. Time equals, presence and love, but also that's what you're buying back is that
Yes.
time. And also, I'm certain there's expertise, right? You all have your strength
Yes.
zones that you stay in.
Yep, we do. As we've grown the team, the way we work is we always assign a primary PA, but then each of our clients also gets access to all of our team's knowledge and skills. So my team's not cookie cutters of me, and I'm
Mhm.
so glad they're not. They all think differently. They all have different life experiences. They all have different strengths, and I don't like the word weakness, but like things that they don't enjoy, let's
Right.
say. Things that don't play to their natural abilities.
Hmm.
IKEA furniture, either a real strength or man, we struggle. Like there is no middle ground there. It's either
Yep.
you're incredible at it or you'd rather die
Love
than
it.
put together an IKEA bed.
Everybody
Um,
knows that too, right?
Everybody does. Oh, you put the panel on backwards halfway through and you don't realize until the end, and then you've got to undo the whole thing.
Yes.
But, like everybody has their different strong suit. And so we just pick and pull whoever we need to from the team. And we learn skills from each other. In IKEA assembly, you need one person that's really great at it and one person to hand you the thing that you need and like hold this in place. And it all just comes together so beautifully. You don't need two experts. You need one, and you need somebody who's a great helper.
There's no question about that. You do, because somebody, the operator at some point is going to get frustrated, and you need someone else to kind of counterbalance that. Don't let them get siloed and frustrated. You were just
Yes.
saying that, and I can remember the last IKEA thing that ended up in our dining room for about 2 months until we just slowly, put it all together over time until somebody got enough aggravated. We needed you, maybe
I,
Nashville's on your horizon, clean
that
it, to do opening in Nashville near you. But
world domination.
yes.
It's on the horizon. We're coming.
With your rebrand, you mentioned starting in 2023. Did you have to go through an education process around, your pricing, or did it just naturally select out?
That might have been the better strategy. We
Mm,
just ripped off the Band-Aid
yeah.
and essentially more than doubled our rates overnight. I recommend that method to no one. We lost a lot of clients. It was mildly terrifying.
Mm,
We came through the other side okay, and honestly, it's one of the best things we've ever done. Was it
mm,
the scariest? It's right up there.
yeah.
Again, like, we struggled with it for a long time. And again, devaluing the work of home and like getting over our own stories that we tell ourselves
Mm,
around, like, well, how am I going to prove my value? We do that day in, day out through the work that we do. We just need to find people that believe in the value that we offer as well,
mm,
not try to convince people who are never going to see it.
mhm.
And so while that was a big, scary step, it was one of the best things we've ever done.
So well said. I mean, so many good clips, and you're a great wordsmith already, winning on that one too. But I mean that because it's so true. I mean, when you have the power and the vision, you got to take that leap of faith and know and believe in it. Real time for us, we're going through that where we walked away from a client that two clients in the same month that would have been very significant, properties, but they didn't see our value. And we
Yeah.
just were not going to be successful. There was potential, but there was
Yeah.
not probability of us ultimately being successful. And people go, I
It's
can't believe you walked away from, you know, 2 commas. And there were 2
there's
commas, but we did.
but sometimes there's just not enough money in the world
Yes.
for something that isn't right.
Yes. See the prior point. All the money in the world doesn't give you another extra day. You
It
know,
doesn't.
it doesn't give you another day. And so you just go on. What about as far as with your psychology history and all that, do you use or do you talk with any of your clients about their preferences? How
All
do
the
you
time.
profile them? We
All
don't
the
want any of
time.
your secrets, but yeah, tell us. Sure.
Yeah. People come to us when they are immensely stressed. Like nobody
Mm,
comes to us with a to-do list of two things, like it's the to-do list just keeps getting longer. And I'm, my hair is falling out and I'm so stressed and I'm making mistakes at work. And like, I'm not enjoying my family because I'm always so amped up by the end of the day because I never catch up.
Mm.
It's, it feels selfish to so many people to ask for help. And
Mm.
it really is self-care because as the saying goes, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mhm.
Well, but if you don't know how to fill your cup because you are completely maxed out, where do you even start? And so when we first get into a client home, we ask for their priorities. What would feel most impactful? And that's where we start.
Mhm.
And for some people, it's clear surfaces. Okay. How do we identify where your drop zones are? The places you naturally kind of just deteriorate as you walk into your house. Where are you setting your keys and your phone and your purse? And where do the kids drop the backpacks and the shoes? How do we create spaces there that keep the system in place without it being a conscious effort? We
Mhm.
work with a lot of neurodivergent folks. Traditional organization doesn't work for them. That's not how our brains work. My college dorm room was always a disaster. But if somebody asked me, hey, where is a paperclip? There's one on the floor underneath my filing cabinet over there, back by the baseboard. And they're like, how did you know that was there? Because I saw it. And I thought, "Oh, I should pick that up," but then I didn't immediately, and so, like, it floated off into the ether of my brain, but something in there retained, like, "Hey,
Mm.
that paper, it's right
Mm.
there if you need it."
Mm. Mm.
So really meeting people where they are and giving them grace, you're not a failure if you're not keeping a perfectly tidy home. Well, my grandmother and my mom always did. What did they do for work? Well, they were housewives. They were stay-at-home parents. Okay. A stay-at-home parent in the 80s when we were all just running around town like unattended. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? It's not the same as the parenting that we're doing now. It's
No.
not the same as like even people who were working back in the 70s and 80s, they went home and they were done for the night. And like they weren't checking their email at all hours. And there was no like this bleed between work and home wasn't happening to the extent that it is now. So we are constantly working. And for so long, productivity has been the most valued thing. And burnout has been a badge of honor, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's a sign that there's something seriously wrong.
Yeah, that's right. You
So,
can be out of balance for a while, but that's short-lived. You
oh,
can't sustain it.
and you can muscle through a lot, but eventually, if you don't make time for rest, your body will rest for you,
It'll
and
make you rest.
it ceases to be a choice,
Yeah, that's right.
and it will be very inconveniently timed
Mhm.
if you don't make time for rest.
You have to. And now with all these things, right? Like it tells you every day.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't do it. Nope. I don't do a smartwatch. I don't have a smart ring. Like nope, can't do it.
Don't need it telling you. Don't need that
I
data.
Nope. And so I have ADHD and some time blindness. And like I have my phone on me the vast majority of the time, but weekends, I don't touch it. I
Mhm.
don't want it. I don't, like I play my three New York Times games,
Right.
Wordle connections and strands, and that's it. I don't
Oh,
check
no
my work
spelling bee?
email.
No spelling bee on
I don't like the spelling bee.
Oh, come on. Okay. Okay.
No, I do the Wordle connections and strands, and that's it.
That's it.
And then I do have a couple of like low key games that I play that just sort of keep my brain kind of engaged. Again, the ADHD, I've got to have something going.
Mm.
More and more, like I'm finding other tactile non-screen things that I can do while I'm listening to a podcast or half watching a movie or whatever the case may be, but just more and more things that are getting me unplugged versus being tempted to check my email and just see how everybody's doing. I don't need to
Mhm.
know. That is none of
Mhm.
my business on the weekends.
I shared with you earlier, we've just been in the middle of the transition from iPhone to Droid, and I'm really enjoying the fact that there's a timed do not disturb feature
Yes.
on there, and I could
Oh,
not
it's
be
so
happier.
good.
It really is.
It's so great.
From a meeting in person, you have an
Mhm.
automatic timer that like, I'm going to turn this off. I'm totally present with you for coffee or lunch or what have you. And eventually it's going to start dinging. And when that happens, we're going to need to wrap because I got to go,
Right. Because I
or
got other stuff to do.
yeah,
Yep.
like it's going to be doing that. I'm going to turn it off while we're here. So I'm present, but That's going to be our reminder in the end. And the same, with, you can work, we could work, we're the same way. I got a text last night on Sunday night at 9:45 from a collaborative agent. And I was like, that's okay.
Tomorrow's
They're
fine.
doing their productivity. That was their
Right.
time and their downtime,
Sure.
but I'm going to let it wait because we did what they asked us to do.
Hmm.
We run into an interesting thing. Like, you have clients, but you also have vendors that you have to deal with that are client related. And that's kind of like
Right.
the other agents in our world. Like, we've got to work with these other agents to be collaborative and be good to work with. But man, they all work differently,
Yeah.
every single shop. So it's very, very interesting on that balance of, and I know exactly what you mean, that you're like, I want a barrier. I've got to have some refresh. I turned off every notification this week on this thing, except for just the health stuff, because I want to be able to go
Yeah.
in and go, but I was already with the health, I was like, I only have 38, body battery score today, but I felt good until I saw that,
Until
and
you
I'm like,
saw
well,
it.
damn, now I don't feel good,
No, see,
so
I just don't need to know.
yeah,
Like, it's how many steps am I getting? I don't know, man. Like,
yeah.
some days I do nothing but go up and down the same set of stairs 9 million times. And some days I barely move from my chair. I don't,
Yeah. And so
it's
far it's
fine.
doing okay.
Yeah.
My health statistics are good,
I
we're
have
doing all right.
100% survival rate up to this
Right.
point. I have
Right.
not died a single time.
Well, I'll move into some of the actual blocking and tackling and what you all do. What do you think one of the more intricate or time sensitive processes are behind, your services?
Oh gosh. Honestly, right now it's software build out.
Mm,
Because of the way that we've designed the company, there is not a single piece of software that meets all our needs. So we have spent the last year working on the Zoho platform to build things out exactly the way we want them to be.
mm,
It's going to solve a lot of problems for us. We are
mm,
to the point of launching beta testing in the next week or two to make sure that we have all the kinks worked out before we roll it all out. But it will take basically all of our operations and put it under one umbrella, which I'm really excited for. It's been a long time coming. What worked
mm.
really well for me as a solopreneur does not work with a team of even 5. It was cumbersome. So yeah, that's the big one right now.
I love that. And thank goodness you're in Austin, where your programmer was probably down the street.
We actually are working with a Canadian company on this one.
Perfect. Perfect.
Highly recommended to us by one of our clients who
There it
said
is.
they're great. Again, it's all about the relationships and somebody that I trusted who was like, yeah, these guys have been great to work with. And they really have been.
Mm,
It really doesn't matter what we've thrown their way. They're like, we will figure it out. Because
mhm,
again, we don't work the way that so many service providers do. Just we need a high level of touch and communication. We need, team collaboration. We've got hourly invoicing. We offer membership packaging. There's just so many moving parts that trying to the hodgepodge of software that we've used up till this point it's a time and it's been time consuming
mm.
to be dealing with so many different moving parts. So once that gets moved over, we're in great shape.
No doubt. Well, this was an interesting one, since you're doing that and managing some innovation with tradition, your traditional services.
Mhm.
How do you balance that? The traditional, like you say, our perspective of the 80s and, in the 90s to now, that tradition versus the innovation of 2025.
So we really know our primary strength as a company is the collaborative nature of what we do.
Mhm.
So not just among our team, but we're collaborating with outside vendors. We're figuring out who on the team is the best fit for any given thing. We're using 16 brains to solve a problem instead of one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even if welcome our robot overlords, but ChatGPT is never going to be able to give the amount of human interaction and the thought that goes into what we do and understanding. So nothing that we do is cookie cutter. We customize our services to each and every client.
Mhm.
So the correct way to fold towels in one house is not the correct way to fold towels in another house. And knowing and understanding what's most important to each and every client, which team member is going to be the right fit for each client, when is it my turn to step in and provide a little extra support? It's all very traditional work for the most part. And
Mhm.
then it is also figuring out what's the most efficient way. What's something that was a weird one off project 10 years ago that is now coming back and is the correct answer for now? How do we implement all these different bits and pieces to make the magic happen?
Mhm. And knowing that custom blank canvas that you've created for each individual client matters too.
Yep,
That's critical.
it really is. It's again, it's what makes it feel like magic as opposed to, oh, someone was in my house.
Mhm. Yeah, right, right. Ooh, I can tell. I can
Right?
tell.
Like
Yeah.
things are just slightly wrong. Very
Yeah.
uncanny valley. Nobody likes that.
No doubt. Well, I mean, I get calls from clients that are like, "Hey, you know, I could tell that someone was here and they smoked while they were in my house or something, right? They
Ugh.
were super sensitive."
Yeah.
Right. And or they were
Ugh.
a smoker and smoked. Maybe it was an
Right.
agent showing the house and they smoked in their car, but they came in and it off-gassed, in their
Right.
house, and so we have to
Well,
unpack
or
all the.
a strong perfume even is
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah. Yep. We we have guidelines in place for
No
things
doubt.
like that because yeah, even cleaning companies coming in and using a different set of products than they usually do. Like people know.
Oh, yeah.
And taking that extra level of care with people's, space is huge.
Mhm. Just knowing that, like you say, having your own, this is the set that go to the Smith's house. This is the set that goes to the Joneses. You've got to have all the cleaning products and supplies and whatever that may be.
Yep.
And, even, I mean, as granular as this quite literally is, like the different types of toilet paper. Some people like tissue and some people like Charmin, I
Yep.
mean, you just never know. That leads me to our next one, which I think is interesting. We know and have noticed a trend, also bathroom related, but do you see, you don't need to quote always be bathroom related, but what trends are you seeing in luxury, customers right now and clients?
Oh gosh. Well, that's such a good question. We're seeing a lot more signature scents for
Mm,
people where
mm,
it's the laundry detergent, the candles, the reed diffusers, the hand soap. It's all the same scent. It's cohesive. So you don't have a bunch of different scents fighting against each other.
yes.
One of my very favorite kind of high-end luxury features, we've got a client house where huge, beautiful island in their kitchen, and it's all drawers underneath. When you open the drawers, the lights like there's a light in the drawer. So good. Like game changer for people. And when you can see what's in the drawer, amazing. Seems really little, but my God, so nice.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I just had another thought. Now I don't remember what it was. Even just plant pots that make it really easy to you water once every couple of weeks and it waters into the bottom. It's like a dual pot
Mhm,
system. Like
mhm.
those make it really nice and easy for people to have plants, even if they have two black thumbs. I always joke that I can keep anything alive as long as it has legs, but like fish, snakes, plants, it is not my strong suit. It's not my thing. Customized organizing systems where it's designed to meet the family's needs, not to make everything Instagram pretty.
Mm.
There's more and more focus on how do I make my space work for me instead of why is my space so much work?
Makes it even more authentically them and makes it even more
Right.
productive because it's theirs.
Right.
Our takeaway that we see a trend in is there's a violent deviation between clients, between people that do like bidets or bidet accessories
I
post-pandemic, and there's others that are you? Go ahead, where are you?
Nope.
See?
I actually have bidets at our house.
Hey,
We were a
bidet, me too,
pre
me too.
so good. I cannot get on board with the non-electric, non-heated. Like, what? I don't need that brisk of an experience.
Yep, that's right.
So my my 8-year-old son refers to so there's one in the primary bath in our
Mhm.
house, but not in the kid bath. And in the winter, Texas winter, it's
Yeah,
not
right.
that cold. But our 8-year-old's like, "Can I use the warm potty?" That's how he refers to it, is the warm potty.
But
Sure,
listen,
bud.
and that's luxury, right?
It's so nice.
So luxurious. Yes. We
It's so nice.
one of my good friends is actually my gastroenterologist too, and he calls them assault toilets. He's like, you do not need an assault toilet, and I'm like,
No, but
but I kind of do. Like, they're
but it
all the various accessories, and it's so interesting how polarized people have been, and people that have leaned in on that. I actually was listening to Guy Raz and How I Built This, and he interviewed I forget the entrepreneur's name, but the lady that created, gosh, anyway, she was I don't think it was Spanx, but it was the next, it was right after Spanx that was particular reusable underwear. And
Okay.
not like after it was.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, you got there. And so I was like, I think it was the same people. But anyway, she was talking about how that came into it. She was a physician, her sister was a physician, and talked about all these different, challenges that she had as a surgeon and, various things. And that inspired this creation. And it's just so interesting to me being around it. And I was like, look, we want to do things the best they can be done. But it's very interesting going into houses. I've had plenty of people, public figures and otherwise, that are like, oh, absolutely not, never. And then others that are like, I won't stay in a house without one.
No,
But, I'm
I
even
give
heard
them as gifts.
right, right,
So I gave my mom one after
love,
she came down to visit. She lives up in Iowa, so it is like cold up there. And my sister-in-law tried it once and loved it. So I gave her one for Christmas. My brother, who he's like, no, I am not trying it. That's you. I'm like, just try it.
yep,
And he very sheepishly called me one day. He's like, I tried it. I was like, and he's like, it's amazing.
yeah,
And shortly after that, they bought a house and he put the bidet in his bathroom, the designated man cave bathroom, stole it from his very sweet wife. So for his birthday this year, he got his own. Had to replace 2 toilets so that they would fit,
my
but he's
first
fully on
experience.
board.
Mine was a client had one and I didn't know what it was. And we're looking at the house and I didn't know them. Most of mine are very relationship based, right? Like I tell people I dated 4 women in my life. I married 2 of them. That's true. It is not at the same time, but, and I've practiced marriage and now my permanent one. And so when we go through all this, we were like, this guy was like, oh my gosh, yes, if you haven't tried one. And I had just met these people. They were referred by a good friend, but they were like, by all means, please sit down.
Please
And I was like, that's
try it.
weird. And now I'm the one telling people, like, please go
Now
upstairs,
you're
try it.
that
It's
guy.
amazing.
Yeah. It's a game changer. They're so good.
The comments on this is going to be
They're
profound.
going to be wild.
They're going to be really good. Like, we knew we were going to go off the rails somewhere, and here it is.
It's fine.
Yes, it is. It's all good. That's why people are here, right? So, well, let's wrap. I've got 2 more for you
Excellent.
as we go. What is one luxury experience or item you think everyone should experience at least once in their life?
Oh, gosh. So like we do luxury very differently at our house, and it's a lot of small luxuries. I really think that everyone at some point should have someone else come in and undecorate after a party or holiday party or like birthday. Like hire yourself some help for
Mm,
like attending the party and making sure that like beverage stations are staying full and trash is being taken out and like the party's flowing well, like, and then cleaning up after. The worst part of any party is the cleanup after.
yes,
Like,
for sure.
it's atrocious. And so, that's one, like, I have team members come over. I have employees come over and help me with things like that. 'Cause
Love.
I'm just like, I can't. I can't. You wanna know what I wanna do at the end of a party? I wanna go to bed.
Yeah,
I wanna
sure.
wash my face, brush my teeth, and go to bed. And I don't wanna get up in the morning and find, like, bugs on the food that I declined to, or, like, you leave trays outside because it's fine, like, it's outside, and, like, raccoons have just mangled it. Like, no, I don't wanna have to go tidy up my backyard the day after a big party. I just don't want to.
Yep. Well, and that's one of those true luxuries that you can do. That's
It
affordable.
is.
That's reachable.
Yeah.
Just takes a little bit of planning.
Yep. Sure does.
Well, my final question for you is in your book of life, what is your current chapter and what's it called?
Oh gosh, this is it's what a point in life that you have caught me at. Right now, we are kind of in a season of transition
Mm,
around here.
mm,
My husband just started chemotherapy on Friday
mhm.
for same Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
We have children now who are almost 9 and almost 15. So like solidly independent at this point, which I personally really love. I'm not one of those moms that like laments that, oh, my babies are growing up. No, they're growing up and it's amazing.
Yes.
My almost 15-year-old can do like he's making full dinners at this point. Like that kid can grill a perfectly medium rare steak.
Come on.
Love this.
Well done.
Love this for me.
Medium rare. Excuse
So
me.
good.
Not well done. Medium rare.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. That's too far.
Yes.
But like, they're genuinely good humans.
Mm.
And it makes me incredibly proud. So, and then of course, businesses like we're gearing up for our next phase of rapid growth, and growth is never without its challenges. And so it really is just sort of the season of transition and taking things as they come and doing the best with what we've got, um, and calling in support where we need it. So it really is the transition and the caretaking of our lives.
Amazing. Well, you are absolutely inspiring and motivating
Thanks.
and centered and doing. You're fully present in your life, and that's rare to come across people like that. So I applaud
I
you, and
try.
we're kindred spirits, even meeting and sharing, this time together. Like we're walking a similar path. So, well, listen, if people want to connect with you for your services or to show you how much they love you, what are your platforms and how should?
Yes, we are Queen of To Do. That's QUEEN. OF as in Frank, T as in Tom, O, D as in dog, O on everything. So YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. We don't do Twitter. Instagram. That's the last one. So
There it is.
those are kind of our bread and butter. And then it's just queenoftodo.com.
Boom, just like that. Anything you want to say as we wrap? And
Anybody who's here in Austin, if you see our bright pink truck driving around town, take a picture with it. Or we're planning to do some hourly giveaways for Instagram content.
that sounds fun.
I know. Hot
Yeah.
pink. You can't miss it.
I mean, right there it is, and then tag and repost, right?
Yes. Tag and repost.
That's how you got to enter to win,
You'll see us around. You can't miss us around,
right?
even if you tried.
Right? Who knows what you'll be doing, but you'll be around.
All the things.
That's right. Amazing. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk Luxury. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to follow, rate, and share this with someone you know that would like to know more about the finer things in luxury and how things are done differently. I'm Alex, and I'll catch you next time as we keep defining what luxury really means.